Well, hey everybody, this is Luke's Uncle Pat here from Hampton, Iowa, and I was going to tell you a little bit of a story about what Luke and I have been up to. And back about a year ago, back in August of 2014 for Luke's birthday, I said, well, Luke, I think it's you're old enough to go to a ball game with me. So for his 10th birthday, I got him got a pair of tickets to the Cleveland Indians Minnesota Twins game. We got some decent seats right behind home plate, and we took in a nice game that started out about 7:30 or so, ended up going about 3 hours, and it was an exciting game. Luke had a fun time. We ate a bunch of junk food, and he got to run around and meet a few players, and even coaxed a ball out of one of them at the Minnesota Twins game last August. Now, as you know, I'm not much of a kid fan, so I was really kind of iffy about the trip. But, like I said, Luke went down to the Cleveland Indians dugout, got himself a baseball, and the rest is history. So he had that ball, and he was in seventh heaven. Well, the bottom of the fifth inning rolled around, and I can't remember really what the score was. I think the Twins were trailing at the time. And all of a sudden on the screen, it appeared a junior announcer was allowed to read the lineups, the batting order for the bottom of the fifth. And it was quite a deal because this kid, no older than probably Luke, 10 at the time, I suppose, did a good job, read real clear, real loud. And the Twins batted around. I believe they had 11 or 12 players bat in the bottom of the fifth. And the kid even called the pitching change. And it was quite a deal for that young man. And I thought to myself, So I says to Luke, Luke, do you think you could do that? And Luke says, oh, yeah, I'm sure I could do that. That looks easy. And so anyway, I put that in the back of my mind. And we went on with the rest of the game. And by golly, the Twins won the game. And Luke was very, very happy. In fact, the usher that was in our area gave Luke a free Blizzard for being at the game and being such a good kid that day. So we really appreciate the guy that was our usher and kind of a area captain for our seating area. And so anyway, I kept that in the back of my mind that I thought maybe in 2015 I would see if Luke wanted to be the junior announcer. So what I did was reached out to the Minnesota Twins earlier this year through Twitter, and they shot me a message right back that I should email them. So I emailed them, and I talked to a nice young intern named Courtney. And she, via email, said that it'd be no problem for Luke to be able to come up and announce the bottom of the fifth as a junior announcer for the July 26th Yankees versus Twins game at Target Field. So I checked with Luke's folks, and they thought that was just the coolest idea. And so we decided we'd do that. And then here's how the rest of the story unfolded. And I think we somewhat surprised Luke at the spring birthday parties this year. Give a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Minnesota Twins, playing second base, Brian Dozier. Now batting for the Minnesota Twins, the designated hitter, Kenice Vargas. Batting cleanup for the Minnesota Twins, my favorite player and first baseman, Joe Mauer.
I read this.
Luke, you've been selected to be the junior announcer for the bottom of the fifth inning at the Minnesota Twins at their July 26th game versus the New York Yankees at Target Field. Congratulations. One question.
What do you think?
Oh, never mind. Thank you.
You bet.
That's awesome! We also we kind of have a celebrity on this motor coach too. And he's not very old, and his name is Luke. And I'm going to have Luke warm up right now on the bus because he has a very important duty at the game.
All right.
Are you ready, Luke? You tell him what you're going to do? Huh? Okay, here you go. Yeah, tell him what you're doing and who you are.
In the bottom of the fifth, I'm going to be announcing the Twins batting lineup.
So, call off a few names, Luke.
Joe Mauer. Brian Dozier. Danny Tony Santana, Trevor Kloof.
Yeah, Kloof did pretty good a couple of days ago, didn't he? Okay, Luke, thank you. Thank you, Luke.
As the game started to go on, we had to meet Courtney at the top of the 4th inning at the customer service booth at Target Field, and then Courtney led us to ground level. Actually, we went underneath the stadium over on the third base side, and then when we came out right here along the third base side along this concrete pad, which was very, very hot. It was about 85 degrees that day at Target Field with a light breeze. And as you can see in the crowd, it was a full house. Capacity at Target Field is 38,900, I believe, and the crowd on hand for Sunday's game on the 26th was 37,219. So Luke had his hands full as far as talking to those people. I knew he was nervous, and that was something else we kind of deal with because he was pretty quiet. For once, it was I don't see Luke speechless very often, but I knew he was nervous, and we wanted to give him all the help we could as far as telling him it was something he could do. It was no big deal, and just to get on that microphone and do it. There he is. This is where we sat for the majority of the bottom of the 5th. Big hand goes out to Jim here. Jim is the on-field announcer, so he does all of the announcements that are on the field when they have games and they have little races and they shoot t-shirts into the crowd. Jim is the one that does all the announcing from the field. And so he was very good with Luke because the first guy up that was up to bat for the Twins in the bottom of the 5th was Eduardo Nunez. And so we had to work with Luke a little bit on how to pronounce the word Nunez, and I spelled it out phonetically on the sheet, and he did get it. And, you know, between every pitch, Jim here was always telling Luke what a good job he was doing, and I think he would have liked to have Luke speak up a little more than he was and hold the microphone a little closer to his face, but, you know, for Luke's first time, it certainly wasn't too bad. But, again, I knew Luke was nervous, and this is pretty much where we had our regular seats for the ball game. It was right about here. So down in the area right here where the mouse arrow is pretty much where we sat as far as me and Luke for the ball game part of it. For the bottom of the 5th was pretty much right along here. So that's where we had to be for our portion of the ball game. And next up is Luke actually calling the game.
Know who's batting, so we'll have you say for the Twins, and then we look here to see his position. SS, what do you think?
Shortstop.
Yep. Then you come over here and pick up his number 9, Eduardo Nunez. So the whole thing would be for the Twins, the shortstop, number 9, Eduardo Nunez. You try one.
Eduardo Nunez.
Now try the whole thing. For the Twins.
For the Twins, shortstop, number 9, Eduardo Nunez.
That's perfect, Luke. That's perfect. Perfect, man. We're going to be just fine. Now, a couple things to think about. When you get the microphone, it's got to be close to your mouth, and you still have to speak pretty loud for the mic to pick you up and broadcast it throughout the stadium. And there's a little bit of a delay between when you say it and when you hear it come back to yourself. About a second. So don't listen to what you hear, just trust what you're saying is correct, all right? Tune out the echo, is what I mean. You feel good?
It'll sound weird at first, but
You'll get used to it after one. 10 years old, that means you are going into the 5th grade? 6th grade? Oh my goodness. Huh?
11 in August.
All right. 6th grade. 6th grade was a good grade for me. You excited? You want to get back to school? You ready? No, I'm not ready.
and a Yankee home run.
I'm overlooking the backfield that you're in a Yankees cap. I'm overlooking that back.
I'm a good uncle because even I can see past that.
All right.
Well, what's the score? 1-1?
Pardon?
What's the score?
1-1.
The Twins are calling in the relief pitcher. And what is your name?
Jim.
Jim?
Cunningham.
Okay, and how long have you done this?
This is my 19th full season.
Wow. How'd you get started?
Accidentally.
Okay.
Accidentally.
That's about how I did.
It was a nice opportunity, and I've been very fortunate.
Okay, first player is up. Luke, what do you say? No. You gotta do the script.
For the Twins, shortstop number 9, Eduardo Nunez.
Good. And then I want you to look right into the camera, which will be right in front of you, and give them a little smile and wave.
There
And
you go.
stay with it until I say, okay, we're out.
Second fastball, curveball, and changeup in the game. He's a three-time Cy Young Award winner.
I'm gonna have you stand.
5 20-win seasons, a 5-time MLB ERA
Watch your
champion,
leg, I'm gonna
3-time
move your chair.
strikeout champion, and an 8-time All-Star with a career ERA of 2.93 in 18 seasons.
It's time for U.S. Bank Kids Camp, brought to you by U.S. Bank, proud sponsor of the Twins, and the only bank to offer the U.S. Bank Twins Rewards Master. Here we go, Luke.
Junior EA 10-year-old Luke from Waseca, Minnesota. Luke.
Shortstop number 9, Eduardo Nunez.
Let's look down. Let's skip down. Nice job. Catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki. You can hold it. Yep. You can hold it just a little closer to me. Right
Not,
in.
not yet. Oh.
You don't have to hold it there until you're ready to talk. The catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki. Luke, spin around until you're facing the. Go ahead. We'll spin you back when it's time, but I want you watching the game in case one comes by.
750. It's 8-9. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Too bud? Budweiser?
Hey, Luke.
Here we go, buddy. Catcher number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
Catcher number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
Take a look at what's next. Center fielder number 32, Aaron Hicks.
Hey, go bear, water. Hey, go bear, water. I can go bear here. Hey, go bear, water.
Excuse me.
Center fielder number 32, Aaron Hicks. Center fielder number 32, go ahead.
Center fielder number 32, Aaron Hicks.
You're a professional. See where I stay right there. Give him a little, there we go. We're out. Now we're going to go up to the top of the order there. Second baseman number 2, Ryan Dozier. He's cool as a cucumber.
How about that?
very much for your help. You can keep it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that, folks, was how the game wrapped up for the junior announcer portion of the ball game, the bottom of the fifth inning. Again, I think Luke did a good job, and I really appreciate all the help we got from Courtney, the intern for the Minnesota Twins, along with Jim, the on-field announcer. And it wouldn't have been possible without sending a tweet to the Twins. So we also want to thank Minnesota Twins for that. It was a nice day. Luke's mom and dad, Pam and Ben, came up to the cities for the game, along with his sister Ava and Luke's grandparents, Phil and Bonnie Marquardt. So a great day on hand on the 26th of July at the Twins-Yankees game. The Yankees did win, but it was a fun day for Luke, I'm sure, and it's something he'll look back on for many, many years, and he's got some bragging rights for his friends. So again, Luke, great job as the junior announcer for the Minnesota Twins.